Hi, everyone. So I've been offline for 3 days, 2 days of Passover and then the Sabbath. I've seen that there's tons of activity regarding my post about Jesus and his murder and crucifixion by the Romans. So let's be clear. Since tomorrow is Easter Sunday and I couldn't broadcast to you on Good Friday, the day of Jesus' murder by the Romans. Let's be clear. First of all, according to all the Roman historians, the Romans killed Jesus, not the Jews. Tacitus, look it up. Secondly, let's go now by the Christian sources. I wrote a book called Kosher Jesus. Please read it. All the New Testament sources, Mark, Matthew, Luke, John, say that the Romans, not the Jews, killed Jesus. I don't only mean that it was Pontius Pilate, who was like the Hitler of his time, who actually ordered the actual crucifixion of Jesus, who was given a political murder that Romans carried out for those who rebelled against Caesar. At the time, it was the Emperor Tiberius. That was crucifixion. The Jews never used crucifixion. It was a Roman death. I don't only mean that Pontius Pilate ordered it. I mean that even for those of you who say, okay, the Romans killed him, but the Jews turned him over, that's garbage. There were two camps in ancient Judea of Jews. There were the Roman collaborators, the Jews who sold out their people, a minority, but they were the elite, right? Because they got tons of money from the Romans, and they were called the Sadducees. Then there was the bulk of the Jews, 90%, the Pharisees, of which Jesus was a devoted member. The Pharisees never turned over Jesus to the Romans, to the extent that any Jews whatsoever, like Caiaphas, the high priest, was involved in having Jesus given over to the Romans to be put to death. Is because Caiaphas was nothing but Roman muscle. Caiaphas was nothing but a Jewish turncoat who was on the payroll of the Romans to look for Jews who rebelled against Rome so they could be turned over and be killed by the Romans. So what you see is that the Romans and the Roman party who killed Jesus, Jews like me and all the Jews who are alive today, are not descendants of the Sadducees. They are descendants of the Pharisees. The Jews had nothing to do with the murder of Jesus. Indeed, the New Testament says several times that the Pharisees warned Jesus, like in Luke, I think it's chapter 13, verse 3, look it up, I think that's correct, when they warned Jesus, run away because the Sadducees are looking to turn you over to the Romans, and the Romans want to kill you. Rome wanted Jesus dead because he declared himself to be the Jewish king. The Romans had abolished the Jewish monarchy, and anyone claiming to be a Jewish king, it was seen as an insurrection against Rome and a direct challenge to the status of the Emperor Tiberius. Pontius Pilate, who was the proconsul in Caesarea, was specifically charged with killing any Jew who claimed to be a king, and that was Jesus.